fact that the units responded and arrived and were greeted with an unusual situation, meaning a riotous situation and a situation that would have detailed or dictated that they proceed with caution, and to the fact that based on what I heard on the radio, clearly 6-3, meaning building well involved, I knew that this was not something in the ordinary.
Fire Chief Marlon Gentle, during his second day of testimony at the Georgetown Prison Commission of Inquiry on Thursday morning, he opined that there is need for more investigation into at least 2 of the 17 deaths that occurred in the Capital A block of the Camp Street Penitentiary.
The reports I got, bodies piled up in a corner. One body with a head removed from the torso at a or a fairly good distance away. One body perched on what appeared to be a toilet seat, bent forward, humped forward, with the entrails or insides out. And I'd rather go on to say, or I dare say too, that those 2 particular, the last 2 that I alluded to, I think need some more investigation.
While his visit to the penitentiary was sometime after the inferno, Fire Chief Gentle opined that he does not believe that any fireman can stand and say that he was okay with what they saw when they entered cell block A, and neither will they forget. Having spent 15 of his years in the investigative arm of the Guyana Fire Service, Gentle offered this reason for stating why he believes there is need for further investigation.
So I believe, in my own honest opinion, and my experience, that both of the bodies will have suffered other types of trauma than the fire, meaning they were subjected to some level of force being applied to them, either by striking or stabbing or something else.
The fire chief also noted that while he would have visited many fire scenes in which lives were lost across the local landscape, they were all eclipsed by what occurred at the Georgetown Penitentiary in March. Repeating some evidence given by other fire officials, the fire chief also explained what he believes exacerbated the inferno on the inside of Block A of the prison.
At some stage, it will have developed into what, in the fire services manual term, to what is called a rollover. Simply meaning, as the materials ignite and the heat is generated, they liberate vapors. Those vapors form what is known as fire gases, and they're locked within that ceiling, and a cycle continues. The embers burn and smolder, and they roll on the ceiling. After a time, they have nowhere to go. They flash. That flash raises the temperature of that room to over 1,000 degrees in seconds. The continuity of that flash, however, will depend on the amount of combustibles remaining after the vapors will have flashed. And that, in my own experience and training, is what actually happened.
Meanwhile, during his testimony on Wednesday, the fire chief opined that the March 3, 2016 unrest at the Georgetown prison could have resulted in one of the biggest prison breaks in Guyana's recent history. Gentle also told commissioners that anything could have happened since the situation at the prison on the day of the tragedy was very tense. He further explained that the problem could have escalated and anything could have happened, including a major prison break. Additionally, the fire chief noted that the situation at the prison could have taken a turn for the worse in that emergency workers or firefighters and others could have been victims if they were taken hostage by the inmates. He recalled that when he entered the compound, prisoners hurled insults and spat on him, and as a measure to quell the situation, he took another route for his own safety and to also not agitate the prisoners any further. Mondale Smith, HGP Nightly News.